I said this already. Nothing good was gonna come of flooding our country with a bunch of people we couldn't support. Now, if you just leave it like that, you have room to think it through. A bunch of people we can't support. That says nothing about who. Nothing about who. We can't support them. Them meaning not us. That's it. Not us. We don't have to find the money to try to support them when we can't find the money to support us, but somehow we find the money. Anyway, like I said, been following a lot of this stuff for a long time. Especially Venezuela. And their collapse. Almost a decade ago. Almost. And when they collapsed, how the men in their country were. The men in their country were just like any other group of men. When they can't find employment, they can't put food on their children's tables. When they're trying, legally or illegally, who knows, and they can't do it. So what do you resort to? You resort to getting it any way necessary. That's where we're at. And we're also in other places. So they're here. They're getting it any way necessary. Just in the last week, we had an Ecuadorian and two Venezuelans in this most recent case, who strangled a 12-year-old, and who knows what else they did to her. I'm pretty sure they did other things to her. That's the type of shit they be on. And I'm not being anything. That's the type of shit they be on. Found her, like in a creek. And these guys look like, it's like, if you see them, man, I should put your head through a cinder block. That's what they built like. That's what they look like. We see the actions that they displayed. We have not the people you believe here. We don't have good people. These ain't good people coming for good reasons to put in on this American dream, to pay their keep, put into our system, help build. These ain't them people. They kind of, I don't want to say they tricked you. They had you believing that, oh, it's just women and children coming over. They had you believing that. And I would say on the back saying, no, that's not it. That ain't, no. So when I started telling y'all, oh man, all the dreads of their society, they're sending over here. When I started putting my finger on these prison breaks, the prison breaks, Venezuela, Mexico, Haiti, Russia, where do we stop? And then when I say these countries, and I'm just going to hit you with Venezuela, the president said, we're not taking them back. We're not taking them back. So we have far too many illegals that are here that were just in prison over there. Probably for like life charges, 20 years, stuff like that. Now they're here. Who do we get to thank for that? You definitely ain't gonna thank me. This ain't no Republican doing. I ain't a Republican. You know who you got to thank. The person you were clearly following. Anybody else who had any different opinion, you shunned them. You shunned them. So the only people to blame really is you for falling for it, going with it, and then turning your cheek while it was happening because it didn't affect you right now. Although it affects you right now. It's crazy. This is what happens when people, their brains are complacent and they let somebody else hijack it, and they're just not thinking for themselves. Think for yourself. Doesn't matter what conclusion you come up with. When we're speaking about our government, if you're like on the fence, speak for your fucking self. Speak for your fucking self. And it's getting worse. I'm still on point with my predictions, and it's still getting worse.